Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Before I get this lesson started, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles, the great millstone of whom I learned from. And a shalom to the hopeful elect brothers taking this truth to the four corners of the earth, the 144,000 chosen, bidding the elect spirits of Yasharala to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahawashi. It's your brother Radah. We got to expose Amalek, man. Got to get into the precepts and the prophecies, and it's been time for a long time since Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi woke up the elect and gave this truth to our elders and apostles of the great millstone, and they began to teach this truth, and it spread all over the earth, and now we have all these camps in GMS and the affiliate camps teaching this truth. The new song all over the earth, and in an aspect of that truth, a major part of that truth is who the enemies are of the Israelites and who the main enemy is. And the main enemy is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, with the head tribe of Edom being Amalek, the people who claim to be the Israelites today. And you're seeing one on the screen. I'm going to let this dude run his mouth. And I'm going to pull some precepts, okay?
This is the United States of America, and all that bullshit is done. It's over. It's finished. You know, the gangbangers that you deal with, they think that they're ruthless. They have no idea how ruthless we are. They think they're tough. They have no idea how tough we are. They think that they're hardcore. We are so much more hardcore than they are. And we have the entire weight of the United States government behind us. What do they have? They have nothing behind them. So we are going to win. They are going to lose. We are going to rescue Memphis. This is the United...
So this is prophecy. First off, we understand that 2/3 of our own people, they got to go, right? We're in agreement with that, but we're in agreement with it from a perspective of righteousness. We're in agreement with the perspective of we understand who we are now. We also understand that we have committed grave, huge amounts of adultery against Yahawah Bashem Yahawashi, and the punishment of that was us being scattered to the four corners of the earth, being subject, being made slaves, being on the bottom to the nations that we were scattered to. That was the punishment, and discontinuing from our heritage. And then the controversy of Zion is another race of people claiming to be who we are. And that's the people you see on the screen. That's the people you see in Israel. That's the people who control the central banking system. That's the people who control Hollywood, porn, freaking the music industry. That race of people, that's the controversy of Zion. That's Amalek posing as us. That's part of the punishment. But we were able to see all of this in prophecy. And now we're waking up according to prophecy, and we're facing the east. We're raising our hands, and we're confessing our sins. And the blood of Yahawashi, not Jesus, Yahawashi has redeemed us, and we are now operating in the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of this truth, right? And we're confessing our sins, making ourselves ready for Yahawashi. And we're speaking what prophecy says about America, about Esau, Edom, about Amalek. The 2/3 of our people have fallen in love with America, fallen in love with the enchantments, and taken on and fallen in love with the social engineered identity that Esau helped create through Hollywood, the media, and hip hop, where now you see these hyper fucking gangsters, hyper feminism, hyper Christians, hyper everything that we are except for being Hebrew Israelites. And now Esau is, Esau is the sword of Yahawah, and Yahweh is going to judge the 2/3 to these people. But these people's anger is twisted. It's got nothing to do with righteousness. This is all based on envy. They want the blessing. They want the blessing back. So let's get some precepts. Let me let this play one more time.
United States of America, and all that bullshit is done. It's over. It's finished. You know, the gangbangers that you deal with, they think that they're ruthless. They have no idea how ruthless we are. They think they're tough. They have no idea how tough we are. They think that they're hardcore. We are so much more hardcore than they are. And we have the entire weight of the United States government behind us. What do they have? They have nothing behind them. So we are going to win. They are going to lose. We are going to rescue Memphis. This is the United...
So let's get some of the precepts. This is one of them. But I want to go further, okay? What is that? Okay. Malachi 1, 3, and 4, okay? I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness, right? Verse 4, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build. Wasn't this same dude? There's another one.
Defeat the dark.
This is a mockery of him. It's got him inverted like a bat. This shit's hilarious. But listen to his speech.
We will prevail over the forces of wickedness and evil. They cannot imagine what they have awakened. They cannot conceive of the army that they have arisen in all of us. Because we stand for what is good, what is virtuous, what is noble. And to those trying to incite violence against us, those trying to foment hatred against us, what do you have?
That garlic. Anyways, so Edom, right here in the prophecies, Malachi 1:4, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahawah of hosts. Now this has been the power that Esau has been able to do, because look, they shall build. This declaration, this little line right here, they shall build. Do you understand how much power out of the mouth of Yahawah, the Most High, Yahawah of hosts? Do you understand how much power is in this one statement? By Yahawah saying within prophecy, they shall build, right there. That's why they were able. That's why they were able to build all the shit that they built. When he was bragging at the memorial service for CK1, we've built everything. You haven't built nothing. Well, the reason why they were able to build is because of this one line right here. Thus saith Yahawah of hosts. Do you know what that? Do you understand what that means? That's the Most High, and then his right hand and his left hand. Those are the hosts, the mighty ones on the right and left hand side. The holy angels on the right hand side, and the evil angels on the left hand side. And they operate in chariots, so-called UFOs, and they order mankind according to prophecy. So Yahawah of hosts said, they shall build, but then there's a comma. But I will throw down. So the same power that energized Esau to be able to build all these systems, the satellite systems, the television programming, the military systems, the fucking financial systems, the religious systems, all these systems that were built and established by Esau, which has subdued the majority of the minds of the people of the world, are under some form of Edomite type of influence. The Most High, Yahawah of hosts, built he used Esau to do what he said. And just like Yahawah said, they shall build, look, but I will throw down. And they shall call them, and who's the they? This is the elect. They shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahawah hath indignation forever. So Yahawah has indignation forever against Edom, and look at this. We're going to show you right now. Esau is the grandson. Amalek is the Amalek is the grandson of Esau. So this is the grandson, fucker. Salakia, grandson. Look. So Genesis shows you the lineage of Esau. Genesis 36:1. And Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son. Right? So there goes one of Esau's sons, and she bare to Eliphaz Amalek. These were the sons of Ada, Esau's wife. Okay, so you see right there, Amalek is the grandson of Esau, and Amalek becomes the head tribe out of all the tribes of Edom. You got to understand this. This is so the people who claim to be us are not different than white people. They are very much related. They have just deceived their own people by using the color coded caste system. If you've noticed, they're the only race of people on the planet Earth who have a biblical name. Everybody else has a color or a new name. Nobody else has a name that goes according to the 18 nations or the 17 nations that are mentioned in Scripture. Everybody else has a new name, a new categorized name, or you're either color coded, black and white. That's Jacob and Esau, and then at the top you have the so-called people who claim to be the Jews, and those are the Amalekites. It's all done on purpose, you guys. You got to understand this. So you go into remember Amalek. Remember Amalek. Let me see if that pulls it up. Remember Amalek. Okay, remember Amalek. All right, so look, remember what Amalek did to you. So look, so this goes back. Deuteronomy 25:17. Remember what Amalek did unto thee, by the way, when you were come out of Egypt. How he met thee by the way, and smote the hindermost parts of thee, even all that were feeble behind thee, when thou wast faint and weary, and he feared not the Most High. Therefore it shall be, when the Lord thy power hath given thee rest from all thine enemies round about, in the land which Yahawah thy power giveth thee for an inheritance to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. Thou shalt not forget it. And we never did this, because when King Saul was in, he spared them, which it all goes along with the plan of the Most High. But this has been an ongoing thing. You got to understand, these people. This is this hatred that you hear this fucker spewing. Let me see. This hatred this hatred that you hear this guy spewing at us it's biblical. It goes way back. And because we have all been deceived, or everybody's operating in this black and white reality, and everyone thinks that they're the Jews when we are, and they're Amalek, and everyone thinks that the Palestinian war, that the Palestinians are this major enemy of the Amalekites that are over there acting like the Jews. That's all a deception. Now they're really doing what they're doing, but those people they're all operating under false names. The Palestinians are, I believe, those are Ishmaelites, right? And then the people claiming to be Jews are Amalekites. The Jews are your so-called Native Americans, Latinos, and blacks over here in America and scattered to the four corners of the earth. Those are and the word Jew only applies to the southern kingdom. It doesn't apply to the northern kingdom. And that's another thing that they never mentioned. They never mentioned the split. After King Solomon committed his transgressions, the Most High judged King Solomon and the 12 tribes of Israel by dividing us in two, and he called the northern kingdom Ephraim, or Israel, and the southern kingdom he called Judah, or the south. And you never hear the news, you never hear Renaissance Western Christianity ever explain this, and it's right there in scriptures. All of the future, look, let's just get one really quick. Jacob's trouble. That is a very near future prophecy, right? Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble. Jeremiah 30. Okay? This is coming, right? Let's go up to the top. Now look how it starts. The word the word that came to Jeremiah from Yahawah, saying, thus speaketh Yahawah, power of Israel, saying, write thee all the words that I have spoken unto thee in a book. For lo, the days come, saith Yahawah, that I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah. What is that? Explain that line. I thought Judah was a part of Israel. It is. Why is there a division between Israel and Judah? Because Israel is talking about the 10 tribes, the northern kingdom, and Judah is talking about the southern kingdom, the 3 tribes, Levi, Judah, and Benjamin. Okay, and there's not 13 tribes. There's 12 tribes. I believe Joseph becomes Ephraim. And so that's how you explain that, because there's 13 tribes. No, there's just 12 tribes. Okay, so how come? So this is a future judge. Look, this is a future prophecy. For lo, the days come, saith Yahawah, that I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah, saith Yahawah, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers. When you hear about them returning to the land, all you hear is Judah, Judah, Judah. Jews, Judah or Jews. That's all they say. Jewish, Jews, Israeli. They don't ever mention the correct anatomy of prophecy on all 12 tribes coming back together, because they were split. They never mention that major wound that prophecy says will be healed. with the elect. They never mention that. Go down to verse 4. And these are the words that Yahawah spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. He says it again in the 4th verse. You have to explain this, and they don't. These fucking people are counterfeits, man.
I'm never not.
They're 1,000% counterfeits. Well, no, it doesn't want to come up, and I'm having issues with my voice, and my voice is starting to get all scratchy. There we go.
This is the United States of America, and all that bullshit is done.
Because Stephen Miller he's an Amalekite. He's a small hat. He's a total Israeli, right? And they never mention in detail scriptures. All they talk about is Jew, Jewish, Israel. We're God's chosen people. That's it, or an anti-Semitic. And the name of Shem is with an S-H-E-M, not S-E-M. The whole thing's off. Anyways, so here you see, I'm just showing you this real quick, verse 5. For thus saith Yahawah, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail a child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. 7, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. Right there. The worst time in human history is about to approach onto the earth. This has never happened yet. This is a future prophecy, okay? It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. Talking about the northern and southern kingdom, Israel and Judah, the real Hebrew Israelites, but he shall be saved out of it. And this is what this guy is announcing.
It's over.
This is what he's announcing. They're announcing it in the form of migrants and immigration and gang members. Dude, migrants and immigration and gang members are not that big of a deal for this race of people to fucking revamp their entire military force to come after. There's something else going on here, bro. And people who are stuck in the color a paradigm or the fucking color construct of black and white. No, this is Jacob and Esau. And the people you see on the screen are Esau, and it's mainly the head tribe, Amalek. And this goes into the scriptures. Look, man. Look. I will have war. I will have war with Amalek, from generation. I will have war with. This goes into when Moses and Joshua were fighting Amalek. For he said, because Yahawah hath sworn that Yahawah will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Okay, let's go back. God damn it. Let me see. Boom. So let's go up here. And it came to pass when Moses held up. Okay, nope, let's just read it. This is and then Amalek, then came Amalek and fought with Israel in Rephidim. And Moses said to Joshua, choose us out men and go out, fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of the Most High in my hand. So Joshua did as Moses had said to him and fought with Amalek. And Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up to the top of the hill. And it came to pass when Moses held up his hand that Israel prevailed. And when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed. This is the only time in Scripture that you see a battle like this. Going back and forth. You need to see who Amalek is, bro. How he's able to hang with us. This is supernatural. You need to understand this. There's a reason why when Moses raises his hands, Joshua and the Israelites win. And then when he puts his hands down, Amalek and the rest of the Edomites start to win. This is big. This is a big deal. Egypt wasn't able to hang with us like this. All the other nations, wherever Joshua went, he just mowed them over, bro. How the fuck is Amalek going back and forth? How are they trading blows? It's supernatural. The Most High is authenticating our enemy in this battle. You have to see this. You don't just go back and forth with a random motherfucker, dude. And dude, Amalek is spirit. They're not big people, you guys. How the fuck were they hanging with us? They got demons. They got left-handed power. They were charged. They had left-handed power, man. You got to understand this, bro. Just like now. Look, bro, look. Look at this fucker. Look at him. Look at them. You got to look at these guys.
This is the United.
They are not physically intimidating. When is the last time someone has seen a so-called Jewish man physically and was scared to walk down the street? Think about this shit, man. They're not physically intimidating. When is the last time you've seen a UFC fighter or a heavyweight boxing champion or a baseball player or a football player or anything physical? Yet somehow this small group of so-called white men that claim to be ish, they run the fucking world, you guys. How? They got power from the left-hand side, man. Because they're not doing it on their own strength. I'm telling you that right now. Look at this. I'm trying to show you something. All right? But Moses' hands were heavy, and so they took a stone, that's a type and shadow of Yahawashi, and put it under him, and he sat there upon. Because everything we have to do is through Yahawashi. Apart from him, we can do nothing. And Aaron and Hur stayed his hands, the one on the one side and the other on the other side, and his hands were steady until the going down of the sun. And Joshua discomfited, that means he won, discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. Okay, and Yahawah said unto Moses. Now look at this. Notice how they didn't defeat them all. They just beat them that day, right? This is an ongoing enemy, man. This is going to be ongoing until Yahawashi finally defeats Amalek. And that's what Yahawashi is coming to do during Yahawah. But we got to get the history of this, man. Verse 14, and Yahawah said unto Moses, write this for a memorial. Well, what's one of the names of Zion? Memorial. So if the Most High is telling us to memorialize this, and we ourselves, Zion, are a memorial, this is major. This is something to remember. Why? Because we're not out of this yet. Yahawashi is not sitting on the throne of King David yet. He's not sitting on the throne of Malak Dawadah yet. He's about to. It's going to happen. It can't be stopped. But he's not sitting on the throne yet. This is major. We got to see this for what it is. And Yahawah said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua, so that Joshua could pass it down to his sons, and we could all have it passed down to us. For I were utterly put out. Now this was said a long time ago. How long ago did Moses walk the earth? And yet Amalek is ruling the earth right now, you guys. Look, for I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. It hasn't happened yet, but it's going to happen. And Moses built an altar and called the name of it, what? Yahawah, my banner. I don't know how to say it in Hebrew yet. Jehovah Nisi says Yahawah, my banner. For he said, because Yahawah has sworn that Yahawah will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Let's get another precept. Let's get another prophecy in Numbers. I see him, but not now. This is another powerful prophecy. Let's go to the whole chapter. Let's see. Pull up the whole chapter. Let me see. Okay. Let's let me read. If Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I cannot. I'm at verse 13. This is Numbers 24. The point's further down, but I want to get some of the backdrop. So if Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I cannot go beyond the commandment of Yahawah to do either good or bad of mine own mind. But what Yahawah saith, that will I speak. Because Balak's trying to get Balaam to curse the children of Israel, but it's not working. And now, behold, I go unto my people, come therefore, and I will advertise thee what this people shall do to thy people in the latter days. And he took up his parable and said, Balaam, the son of Beor, has said, and the man whose eyes are open has said, he has said, which heard the words of power, or the Most High, and knew the knowledge of the Most High, which saw the vision of the Almighty falling into a trance, but having his eyes open. Look, this is a prophecy. I see him, talking about Yahawashi, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, that's Yahawashi, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, That's rulership. And shall smite the corners of Moab and destroy all the children of Seth. Now look at the next one. And Edom, and Amalek is the head tribe of Edom. So Amalek is inside of here. He's just not mentioned, but you have to understand that Amalek is the grandson of Edom, and Amalek becomes the head tribe of Edom. So just remove Edom and say, and Amalek shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession, and Seir is the mountain that Esau was living on. So that's a reference to Mount Seir in Ezekiel. I am against thee. And Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion. It's talking about Yahawashi again, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. Look, verse 20. And when he looked on Amalek, Amalek is Edom. Amalek is a tribe of Edom. They're not separated. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up this parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations. That's what we are seeing now.
The only minority.
They're in that position of first. How can Amalek be first of the nations when Israel is the apple of the Most High's eye? That should tell you something. That Esau, Edom would be in a position of rulership on the fucking earth. That's what we're seeing right now. This is what all these videos I have saved, 90% of them are all what? They're all shit that Esau, Edom, Amalek are doing in the earth, and how it's affecting the whole planet. No other race. It's no other race, you guys. All these, well, with the exception of some of the food ones. Okay? But all these videos are Esau, Edom, Amalek doing crazy shit in the earth and affecting the planet. Look, this is people. This is the EU walking out on that CK1 crap.
Did you see the parade of angry white men chanting?
From this moment on, I am dedicating my life to...
All of these videos. All of these videos.
I'm not sure who...
All of them, you guys, are
Yes.
what so-called white people, the rulership of white people, which is Esau, Edom, and Amalek as the head tribe, how they are affecting the entire planet. And when you go into the scriptures, you're like, oh shit. Okay? So when he looked on Amalek, he took up this parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. Let's get another one. Remember how it said Seir? And it said, let me see, let's find it. Hold on. I had to take a throat lozenge because my throat was all messed up. And Edom shall be a possession, right? Seir also shall be a possession. Seir is Edom. They're synonymous with each other. He's just reiterated by saying it twice. Look, I am against thee. Let's Mount Seir. Say unto Mount Seir. Say unto Mount. It's in Ezekiel. Say unto Mount Seir, I am against thee. Or maybe I'm saying it backwards, but it should be bam, bam. Look, bro. And say unto it, thus saith the Lord God, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, or that I am Yahawah. Because thou hast listened, this goes back to what we just read in Moses' time, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Our iniquity is coming to an end. We are now experiencing the beginning stages of Lamentations 4, 21 and 22. And I'm going to read that. I'm going to get that. And who's now attacking us? They're still attacking us. The so-called white man is still oppressing the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. They're still oppressing us, you guys. Verse 6, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off him from it that passeth out, and him that returneth. Talking about cutting off the seed line, you guys. Let's get Lamentations, and I'm going to be done. Lamentations. Look, you got to understand prophecy. And this is how we speak to these guys. And as we speak the words of prophecy, Yahawah B'Hashem Yahawashi, Yahawah of hosts, takes our words, which are his words, turns them into fire, and then he turns Amalek and Edom into wood. And they are burned up by the supernatural power of the Spirit of Yahawah, because we're speaking what's written in prophecy. We're not picking up guns. We're speaking the words of fire. Lamentations 4:21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom. Remember, Amalek is included in Edom. So is Mount Seir. It's all the same. That dwellest in the land of Uz, the cup also shall pass through under thee. What is this cup? It's the same cup that we had to drink. They're going to go into slavery just as we were. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. Look, Lamentations 22. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. It's talking about the Hebrew Israelites. So we're on the bottom right now, experiencing the curses. We're about to get our asses kicked, or the 2/3 are. Some of the elect will also be martyred, because Esau is sharpening his sword, but Esau is the sword of Yahawah. And then as we are finishing our punishment, Yahawashi is going to come and Yahawashi destroy Esau, Edom, and Amalek, right? And then he's gonna beam up the elect. He's going to completely burn and melt America. He's going to subdue and destroy the armies of Esau, Edom, and Amalek. And then all the elite of the Amalekites and the Edomites are going to be in their underground $1 trillion bunkers, and we're going to go down there in our supernatural bodies and pull their fucking asses out. And as we are coming out of our prison, they're going to be going into their prison. That's what you see in Lamentations 4:21 and 22. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. That's what's being spoken to us. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom, Amalek, Stephen Miller. He will discover thy sins. That's what's going to happen, man. And that's and as we speak, look. If you speak this word, and this word is the voice that is exalted with the banner on the high mountain. If you speak this word, watch. Bam! Jeremiah 5:14. Wherefore, thus saith Yahawah, the power of hosts, because you speak this word, that's the voice to be exalted with the banner on the high mountain. Behold, I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall devour them. And then when it says, look, exalt the voice, lift ye up the banner, lift ye up the voice upon the high hill. I'm messing it up. Okay, right there, Isaiah 13 and 2. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. The banner is Yahawah, is my banner from back in Moses' time when we were fighting Amalek. It's connected. We lift up the name of Yahawah B'Hashem Yahawashi, right? Which means many things. It does mean he exists, and Yahawashi does mean he saves, he delivers. But there's key points in our memorial as Mount Zion that the name was used to indicate things, and in one of them, it's fighting Amalek, who has been the arch enemy, who's been the head tribe of the arch enemy of the Edom of the Israelites, who is Edom, and they are in rulership right now, and they're about to be brought down. But there's going to be a major death on the earth before that happens. Billions of people, hundreds of millions, billions of people are going to die. You guys, it's going to be fucking crazy. Isaiah 13:2. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake ye the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. And so when they hear this, they know that their time is short. There's one more. There's another one I was thinking. That one, hold on. There's another one. Let's just get it. If any man hurt them, if any man must hurt them, in this manner must they be killed. And the killed means this, in this way they must be judged. Revelations is talking about the northern and southern kingdom, the two witnesses, Ephraim or Israel and Judah, the split. These are the two witnesses, Revelations 11:5. And if any man, that's Amalek, that's Edom, Stephen Miller, and all those guys run their mouth at us. If any man will hurt them, talking about the elect, not the 2/3, fire proceedeth out of their mouth and devoureth their enemies. And if any, well, the 2/3 too. Yeah, because they're still Israelites. And devoureth their enemies. And if any man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed. If any man will hurt them, fire proceeds out of their mouth. What does this mean? The elect will be given the wisdom, knowledge, understanding of these prophecies, and we'll be able to see. You'll be able to see what you just saw me do. We'll be able to precept upon precept and prophecy, jumping through time, showing you that Amalek and Esau, Edom have been the arch enemy of the true Hebrew Israelites, the northern and southern kingdom, Israel and Judah. And Yahawashi is coming back. He is that star that comes out of Jacob. That's going to he's also, look, he's the rock. He's the rock that is cut without hands. The rock and Daniel. See, these are the rock cut without hands. He's that meteorite that they talk about in the movies. The rock cut without hands. Just like in the movie Don't Look Up. That's really Yahawashi coded, bro. Thou sawest till that a stone. Yahawashi is the rock of our salvation. He is the stone that Yahawah will throw at the whore. Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. Yahawah is without sin. And Yahawashi is that first stone. He is the elect stone that is laid in Zion. And he's going to be thrown at the whore of Edom, at Amalek. People like Steve Miller, they're going to get stoned. They're going to get killed. They're going to be judged by Yahawah, by Hashem Yahawashi. Because they're a whore. They're the true whore. Thou sawest till that stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and brake them into pieces. Look. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold, talking about all the previous rulerships, broken down in pieces and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floor, and the wind carried them away. The Spirit blew them away, that no place was found for them, no position of rulership. They're taken out of heaven. And the stone, talking about Yahawashi, the elect stone of laid in Zion, that smote the image, became a great mountain. What's a mountain? It's a rulership. That's Yahawashi on his throne, on the throne of Malak Dawadah, and filled the whole earth. This is all going to happen. Steve Miller, Trump, none of them. Amalek can't stop this. They can't stop this. And it's hilarious, bro. It's fucking hilarious. It gets you mad, and it can make you nervous sometimes a little bit when you're in your flesh. But then you got to go back into the scriptures and mock these fuckers, because this is a mockery of him. Look at that purple fucking blue. Look.
We will prevail over the forces of wickedness and evil. They cannot imagine what they have awakened. They cannot conceive of the army that they have arisen in all of us. Because we stand for what is good, what is virtuous, what is noble.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Everything about them is counterfeit. Everything about them is abominable. And Yahawah B'Hashem, Yahawashi hates these people. I pray that this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise and glory to Yahawah B'Hashem, Yahawashi, B'Hashem Rakakdash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles, the great millstone of whom I learned from, and a shalom to the 144,000, taking this truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elect spirits of Yahshua to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahawashi, who will rule from the throne of Malak Dawadah, King David, and who will destroy Amalek and his armies, who will destroy Esau and his armies. Shalom. This is your brother Radah. Shalom.